Members love her so much, they actually have included her name and that of her co-founder in front of all of their player names. So those are those two characters that you see in front of every member of the Maldao rosters.
We'll talk about dedication to the clan right there, and she has some dedication to Clash of Clans. Sylvia told me earlier the only game she plays is Clash of Clans, and right now, the beginning of her attack found the Tesla farm on the outside right here.
Electro Dragon is a big, heavy start, but yeah, that's going to be kind of scary seeing those Teslas pop up when you were planning on starting your Queen Walk over on that side. We do have a wall record to start things off, though, and that's going to be a good bit of damage.
Yeah, it's a good start right there as the Archer Queen is moving in with the healers behind. And, you know, the Electro Dragon helps kind of create a little bit of a funnel. I don't think that Sylvia necessarily was expecting a Tesla farm right there. If you look at the way the base is laid out, there's a lot of 2x2 spaces where there could be any of a number of Tesla farms. She just happened to come right at that one. Probably the attacker also predicting that most Queen Walks would start in that same area, but Sylvia overcame that easily.
Brand new troops stored in the clan castle. Those ice golems drop a free spell when they go down, stalling and preventing this Archer Queen from hardly doing anything here on the offense. But fortunately, she's not taking a whole lot of damage here, Galadon. Those rage spells and the healers keep her nice and healthy.
Exactly, and the healers just conveniently out of the radius of the free spell, so they're able to keep the Queen up, and it was just a momentary delay. But like we've talked about so many times this week, Woody, time fails are so frequent at this level of play, and obviously time is going to be of an issue. We've got less than 90 seconds remaining, and it looks like the majority of the rest of the attack miners on their way in.
Mass miners deal a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. You got to be careful, though. They don't have too many hit points, and so that's why we see 3 heal spells now still left for Sylvia to use to try to keep these little burrowing dudes alive. They're not a big fan of multi-target Infernos, not a big fan of Wizard Towers either, and we still see quite a few of those on the map.
Yep, and the Eagle Artillery, long gone. That Queen Walk, really effective right here, and that's one of the things with these base designs. You can really only defend against one strategy or another unless you've got some really unusual setups. You can see all those multi-target Infernos can be tough to stop a Queen Walk, and she did a great job. We're about 2/3 of the way through. She finally went down.
Get a pretty nice spread here on the base as the miners start to fan out and go for different structures here. That really helps prevent that splash damage from the Wizard Tower from getting too much damage off on them. We just only have ground troops now, and they're all kind of in a big bulk together. Unfortunately, that's going to make cleanup quite difficult.
But it's going to help with the placement of that last heal spell. We'll watch for that in just a few seconds. You can see the health bar of all the miners as they work their way through. Sylvia trying to choose very carefully where she puts that last heal. Good Warden ability this late. 14 seconds left in the attack, but speaking of time, it looks like no matter how many miners survive, they're not going to have the time to finish this base off.
Yeah, just running a bit short there at the end. Nevertheless, a high percentage, north of 80% at this point. Sylvia is starting things off on a good beat. Looks like we only got 2 stars from the opposing clan as well. Element is their name, and
to get everyone started, to get everyone to feel a bit more comfortable before they go into their attack. And next attack is up by Target King.
Target King coming in with a Lava Loon combination here, a very effective air strategy, and it's one of his favorites. In fact, his pregame ritual is to wash his face and pray for 3 stars, so let's hope he did that in here if he wants to pull ahead in this war.
I would say a lot of these Maldao members are getting their answers, their prayers answered, and the affirmative is the answer because they're just annihilating these bases. We've got a little Electron here, and we've got that clone spell. Oh man, those balloons went down quickly, Woody.
That tornado trap absolutely wrecked that Electron hit, and unfortunately that's going to mean an Eagle Artillery still alive, an Archer Queen still alive, and he might have even been going for that multi-target Inferno as well. Target King is not happy with the start of this raid.
No, that was not ideal. Absolutely. I think you're right, Woody. There was a rage spell there as well. Definitely anticipating far more damage done. And you can see we're talking about these kill squads trying to get a lot of value out of an early attack. And right there, nowhere near the value. Woody nailed it. You know, Inferno Tower, Archer Queen, Eagle Artillery all still up.
It's time for plan B now. Target King knows that he has to get at least 2 stars here in order to keep pace with the enemy clan. That's why he's going straight for that Town Hall next. All of his firepower is going to be directed toward that big blue building. It's got a huge Giga Tesla inside, though, and so you can't go in there without some strong forces. That's why he drops both of these heroes, and looks like they're going to make it there pretty soon.
Yeah, hoping for the Archer Queen to head over here. He's dropped a couple balloons as well. The Archer Queen a little bit distracted. He's counting on her to get that Town Hall down, and right now she's going out to the right-hand side. This is really bad news. This is not good as she's going way out to the right-hand side. No, she's still going right, so that Town Hall is going to have to fall to plan C for TK.
The second of really 2 bad unlucky breaks here for Target King, and it seems like he thinks that he can get some more value going from the top left corner now. At this point, he still wants to try to get as much percentage as possible, and it's still quite possible to get a lot of damage in here with those lava hounds at the top left, soaking those air defense hits. The multi-target Inferno is a big problem for these pups and the balloons, though, and you would expect maybe a free spell on them. Instead, he goes for the Eagle and the sweepers.
The sweeper trying to get those balloons in. He's got 7. He had 7 more balloons. Here they come. Okay, so the plan C is going to be 7 loons and the Warden to try to get it after the attack hits 50%. Here it comes. Watch the balloons retarget as we get to 50%.
51.
There. Now the balloons are going to retarget. There's the haste spell, and that should... Oh my gosh. Oh, come on. Yeah, got it. Oh my gosh. Just barely grabs the 2-star, and you can hear them celebrate right here. Absolute saving this attack from total disaster.
Sighs of relief as the clanmates in the studio are starting to finally appreciate Target King's ability to adapt on the fly here. I was saying it yesterday, I still think it's true. 80% of this attack is planning beforehand, trying to figure out the best army composition to use, the placement, the timing, but just sometimes things don't go right. The best laid plans of mice and men often get awry, and oftentimes you have to switch it up and adapt on the fly.
That was just, oh man, absolutely clutch to save that Town Hall, to get it down at the last second, and it turned out to be a pretty solid attack, 70% 2-star.
They do any better in the third attack, and it's led by Johnny.
Well, the Mount Doe players did tell us right before we signed off yesterday that they were afraid that this could be their hardest matchup yet. We haven't seen them grab a 3-star yet, and their opponents are on track. It looks like they did just only get 1 star from their last attack, though, so that is some good news for Mount Doe.
Absolutely, and it looked like for a moment we were going to see a 1-star. That would have been the first 1-star of this entire season from Mount Doe. Instead, grabbing the clutch 2 and staying on track. Again, we talk about this in any Clan War League. Going for that safe 2-star is almost always the best bet, because the risk of ending an attack with a 1-star can absolutely doom the entire war in a close war.
Johnny warms up with some friendly challenges before each match. He's a doctor who almost never sleeps. He's playing the game all the time, and he's ready to clash now. He's going to be going up against the number 8 defender from Clan Element, using a wall wrecker to help boost this Archer Queen a little bit closer to that Town Hall. Main army composition here is Bowler Witch, though.
I like it. Wall wrecker on its way in. Notice it clearing that path, trying to get, the Archer Queen to behave and go after that Inferno Tower, but you've got a big group. And El Primos, we got a bunch of El Primos coming on in, and they're going to help get into the deeper part of this base, probably behind the Town Hall, opening up another wall if they survive.
The clan castle is pulled, but the Archer Queen is absent without leave. She's instead looped around the bottom side with those bowlers. That's going to leave a lot to be desired in the core, especially with that Archer Queen popping down El Primos and maybe targeting the Grand Warden next if he's not careful.
Yeah, the El Primos got through 1 additional wall there, cleared out a couple of air sweepers that were really inconsequential in this attack. And you're right, Woody, the King and the Queen both went to the outside, and we're just now closing in on the 2nd star for damage.
Looks like that 2nd star is going to be within reach, but it's not going to be an easy 3-star by any means. The healer army has not been supporting this Archer Queen very much through the end of the raid, and all we have left now is the Barbarian King to get a few more percentage here.
Yep, so just grinding away the percentage points right here, trying to get into the 60s. Again, we talk about those critical percentage points. It's not just for the individual war, but can be for the entire season as well. Every troop counts, and there's even a free spell and 1 minion left. And just trying to get what he can right here. Johnny very carefully using those last units to grab a couple more percentage points, and indeed, he uses everything.
Slaps a free spell just onto a lone little cannon down there to keep that Barb King up just another second or two. Might get this Elixir Collector, yep.
64.
And that'll be it.
And that Archer's going to try, but the days of watching units just pick off defenses or pick off buildings on the outside is pretty much gone with the addition of the Eagle Artillery, as that Archer gets one-shotted.
2 stars for Maldo.
In almost every round of every war, 30 stars would be enough for the victory. As we increase in leagues and we keep moving up, though, obviously, especially in Champion 1, it's going to take more than 2-star attacks. So that's why we're seeing a lot of risks being taken here, Woody.
Maldo picks up 6-5 with that last hit. Looks like Element has turned another 2 stars from their 4th attack, so that means that Maldo is on pace to be winning as long as they can grab at least 2 from this next hit. Archer Queen Walk at the top right corner is going to be starting things off here, leading into a Mass Miner follow-up.
Yep, so the familiar free spell from the Ice Golem stopping the Queen, but not the healers, so kind of nice that the healers have that range. Watch for the funneling. What we're seeing repeatedly from this clan is the Archer Queen going in just like she is, going in and helping a funnel on one side. Then, when the miners go in, the Barbarian King drops at roughly the same time, and he helps make sure the miners follow a narrow path into the core.
Bit of an aggressive placement on that heal spell. Didn't catch the healers right off the, or the rage spell rather, didn't catch the healers right off the bat, but nevertheless, this Queen is still looking pretty healthy. She'll pop down the Barbarian King and keep moving on through to the next compartment. Her next target is going to be that Eagle Artillery. If she takes that down, that's going to help these miners out a whole lot. They certainly don't like to go up against that much splash damage, and so an early good hit from her will be very important. I think ideally HH would like to wait a little bit longer here, but time is of the essence. Absolutely. It's not on the side of the attacker.
And there you go. You see your Barbarian King down to the far bottom right of the screen, and that's going to enable those miners to follow that narrow path that they're going to run into the Archer Queen, the multi-target Inferno, a pair of Expos as well. Our attacking Archer Queen is just about getting to her final destination here. Really critical that she helps with that Eagle Artillery.
Nice heal spell down there right next to the Archer Queen. That could have caused a lot of trouble for those miners as they start to clump up. That Eagle Artillery is pounding them away. Yep. This Grand Warden's doing his best to keep them alive with his life aura. He's already used his ability though, and so HH doesn't have a whole lot more firepower to offer for this hit. Finally, the Archer Queen through.
Here she comes, and she still has her ability, but the healers have abandoned her. They're now chasing down the miners who are back on the outside of the base. Unfortunately, King is down already, the Warden following them. The Archer Queen again has her ability, closing in on over 70% on damage on this base, but it's going to be close either way.
HH holds that Archer Queen ability just long enough, and that ought to give her a bit more of a chance to make it into the space. A lot of those structures are now targeting the miners instead. This is going to be a really close one, Galadon. Only 30 seconds left and only a few troops to add on.
They're
for this
blasting.
final department.
They're blasting through defenses. Watch this Inferno Tower go down, the Archer Tower as well, as they're trying to get there, and now there's wall breakers on the outside. You can see the Archer Queen now is going to be basically what is left. She could get through all these structures with her healers. The question is, 13 seconds, not enough time.
These walls just providing a bit too much defense for HH to crack through, and as the seconds tick down, you know these miners would have had the firepower to take these structures out. They just don't have the time.
Oh my gosh,
with that.
97%.
97% time fail for Maldo.
Absolutely, and I think what we're seeing is some innovation from Element's base design. You know, we're seeing some attackers get slightly caught off guard. Maybe there's a Tesla farm where they weren't expecting it. Traps, the Tornado Trap, very effective, as Renee pointed out a little bit earlier, stalling things, slowing units down. It's going to be tough. I think that this may be the toughest base design matchup they've had yet.
Well, fortunately for Maldo, their opponents are having a bit of difficulty cracking through their own bases as well, through 9 stars only from 5 attacks. That means less than an average of 2 stars per hit. Maldo's defenses are still holding up despite this really difficult war that they've started off with so far. And CC troops providing a little bit of help here. You don't see the Town Hall activated just yet. 2 dragons in this clan castle, though.
Yep, I like it. Lots of splash damage. Archer Queen goes to work on the Town Hall. And again, it is kind of exciting to see a really close matchup today, because with a 2-star here, that would only give Maldo a 1-star lead after 1/3 of this war is completed. So exciting to watch what really is turning out to be a neck-and-neck battle.
You've always got to be on the lookout for 3-star hits, though. Maldo has soaked a 3-star hit yesterday. I think LMF was the first player to get 3-starred, and it could definitely happen again. Their opponents are 1 and 2, or rather, they're number 1 and their opponents today are number 2 in this Clan War League season, also undefeated. And you can clearly see why, using a lot of great strategies here, like that Lava Hound in the Clan Castle.
And here come your miners. Yep, the miners coming in, and the Barbarian King on the top right there, again, is going to funnel, try to get those miners in towards the core. A few have kind of misbehaved, gone towards the outside. Archer Queen, and she's got a lot of tasks ahead of her, as that jump spell is going to provide her access to the Eagle Artillery and 2 Inferno Towers.
finally cracks down the first Inferno Tower as it was just starting to burn up a few of these miners. They're going to be able to make their way toward the interior of the base, though, as this Eagle Artillery starts firing away. It deals a ton of splash damage, and once again, that's got to be one of the primary targets for this Archer Queen to pop down. After she finishes it off, she goes for the other Inferno Tower next, but I'm starting to worry about this Queen on defense. What do you think, Gally?
Yeah, well, the miners right here have regrouped. There's a Warden's ability right there. The miners have regrouped, and they're right underneath that defending level 60 Archer Queen. They get through her pretty quickly. The attacking Archer Queen, she needs those healers back, though. She needs to make a phone call and grab all the healers. She just has one. Now she's going to turn around after that lava pup. The miners working their way on the opposite end of the base, but again, look at the time as we're down to 30 seconds, and a lot of high hit point structures remain.
This has got to be one of the highest upgraded bases that we've seen so far this Clan War League season, and it's not even the #1 defender for the enemy clan element.
Not even top 5, Woody. This is crazy. These are some maxed out Town Hall 12s, big monstrous defenses right here, and part of the reason that we're just not going to have the time to get a 3-star.
You'd expect nothing less in Champions League 2, but that's not good enough for Maldo. They're trying to make it up to Champions 1, and in order to get into the top 2 this week, they will have to be able to beat the biggest, the baddest bases in all of Clash of Clans.
And go for 3. At one point, probably someone has to take that decision. Do the risky or do the safe 2-star?
Oh, do I?
Oh, here it is. Okay, this is the attack that they told me about earlier today. They warned me that this attack was coming, Woody. So I've heard a little bit about the strategy right here.
Well, tell us about it, Galdon.
Well, obviously, leading off with the bat spells right there, going for damage on the interior. And check out what is the main brunt of this attack. It's dragons. Dragons and balloons. That is something we have not seen in Clash of Clans in the meta in probably over a year.
Feels kind of like a bit of a limp start to me, to be completely honest, though. Dumped almost all of his spells onto that top right compartment and barely got like 10-15% of the base finished off.
But 2 of the air defenses are down, and 1 of the Inferno Towers is down. Okay. So that is exactly as Jason had planned. He actually told me a little bit about what was happening here. Check it out as we watch masked dragons and loons head across this base. That splash damage. Ever since the addition of the Electro Dragon, we haven't seen a lot of use from dragons. They're doing a great job right here.
It just seems like he's dumping everything right off the bat, though. He's already used his Grand Warden ability. All of these dragons are relatively clumped up now, targeting this Barbarian King for some reason. But nevertheless, you are right. There aren't any air defenses left in this entire base. He's running out of spells. He's running out of everything. He's
and here comes
the entire kitchen sink.
He's got the Queen's ability. He's got the Stone Slammer. It's going to come in here. Watch the haste spell. Stone Slammer easily going to wipe out this Inferno Tower. Dragons are going to work on the far left Inferno Tower and the Archer Queen at the bottom. This attack looking super strong, and you can hear Maldo starting to get really excited right here. They know what is on its way.
Very impressive. They picked this entire base apart, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Now, fortunately, their opponents have also had a bit of an upset in that last attack. With 6 hits so far, they've only earned 10 stars. Maldo now is really starting to turn it around, Galdon.
Tornado Trap, not consequential, as these dragons are going to wipe out the rest of this base. They're going to pick up a 3-star. And look at the excitement of Jason. This, an untested, unproven, undiscovered attack, now showcased by Maldo, and I think even Woody might be a convert.
The war's not over yet, so we saw that both teams seem to struggle sometimes in between their attacks. Let's see how 1G does in attack number 7.
If it works well for Jason, it might work well for 1G as well. He's bringing the mass dragons as well as those 8 bat spells here. And nice positioning on the freeze and rage to get the bats nice and onto target. Not many splash damage structures in that bottom section of defense, and that's going to be a ton of damage.
Freeze, rage, and every bat spell. And only 1 spell remaining. And look at them go, spreading out like that. Now there's a freeze on the right-hand side. The Wizard Tower, critical to keep frozen. And again, that single target Inferno proved a little bit vulnerable. As I'm excited about this attack strategy.
It was a bit strange placement on that free spell. He actually missed the Expo and the Inferno Tower up in that right side compartment, but nevertheless, a really good start. He didn't get the Archer Queen down, though. She can cause a lot of damage to flying troops, but I mean, this whole clump over here is looking entirely menacing. It's 99 red balloons backed up by red dragons, a Stone Slammer.
Yep. There's the Tornado spell, and the Warden's ability only caught a few of the balloons. The Tornado Trap keeping them stalled, but notice again that invincibility helped out a lot right there.
We do have some multi and single target Infernos later on in this base could cause a little bit of trouble for those dragons if they loop around or get distracted on the Archer Queen, but 1G is looking pretty strong right now. He still has to be a little bit worried about the final Archer towers on the right side and air targeting Expo as well.
And every dragon but one was focused on that Barbarian King there for about 6 seconds. That was a tough delay right there. And that's going to be costly, as now we've got Wizard Towers and a multi-targeting Inferno. Lots of splash damage to deal with.
This Grand Warden is still doing a lot of favors for these dragons, though he's able to keep all of them in his life aura there, except for one that starts to wander out toward the end. Oh, missing that Wizard Tower up top is going to be a crucial fail, though, for 1G. And unfortunately, I think this Inferno Tower is going to cause a bit too much trouble to burning up those dragons.
So close, so much damage wreaked by these dragons, but not quite enough. 78%, looks like a couple more cleanup buildings right here. That was the hope right there, was to get that Archer Queen down as well. We've seen bats melt through Archer Queens almost instantaneously in the past.
2 stars for 1G. We heard it. It went so high that all of us went totally overboard at the desk. But solid. So let's hope for another at least 2 stars, because 15-15 after attack number 8 for the enemy.
Did you see the look on LMF's face? I'm giving him a new nickname for his acronym, LMF.
Oh, yeah.
Looks most fearsome.
Oh,
He's
all right.
ready. And look, we got it again, Woody. We got Rage, Freeze, and Bat spells coming out in the center, top right of this base to start this attack.
We haven't seen that a whole lot, or almost at all. The bats have been paired up with the Lava Hounds before, but this time Dragon Fire is the follow-up after those spells get dropped.
I can't wait to find out the name of this attack once it starts being used a little more widely.
You want to name it right now?
No, I don't. I want to wait, and I want to see what Mao Do has the right, because I've never seen this attack strategy used before at Town Hall 12. Others may have seen it, and I'm sure, people have seen similar strategies, but 3 in a row right now. 3 attacks in a row with a brand new attacking strategy at nearly maxed out Town Hall 12 bases.
Starting off with a Stone Slammer next in the bottom section of the space. That Archer Queen, once again, could cause quite a bit of trouble if these dragons aren't careful. We're going to see a Rage spell to help them take her out, though, and that's going to be the next step that LMF needs in order to get closer to that Eagle Artillery, the next biggest obstacle for him getting 3 stars here.
Great Warden ability right there. Right as the Eagle Artillery rains down, you saw the Stone Slammer had 2 dragons inside, so adding more dragons to the mix. LMF still really focused. You can see he's got a freeze left. Dropping that last freeze spell. Ooh, nice on the Expo and the Eagle Artillery.
Dragons are splitting up, but that's not going to cause them too much trouble. They've already destroyed most of the defensive structures in this base. This Eagle Artillery is having a bit of difficulty finding a good target to lock onto at this point. It's going to start firing at a lone dragon over on the right side, and that is good news for LMF. The cleanup is looking excellent here, Galadon, and I think that we're on our way to 3.
The Loons are after that Eagle Artillery. A few dragons out on the right-hand side. You can hear the celebration as the Eagle Artillery is going to go down. Not worrying about that defensive Lava Hound out of the CC. And look at the balloons. Like you said, Woody, there goes the Expo. Now, the balloons may fall to this Wizard Tower, but no doubt these dragons, once they get over there, are going to wipe it out. And this is absolutely going to be a 3-star. Warden helping out.
He used an Archer and Wall Breakers to draw fire from the Wizard Tower, so that the balloons had enough time to get there.
Every troop counts. Boosted army, 3 stars.
But I wanted to try... never mind. Attack number 9. Dong. However that attack is named, yet it's definitely successful so far.
Absolutely, but it looks like, Woody, we're seeing a change-up in the strategy for this one.
A change that may be necessary, too. Their opponents have actually started to pick up on stars. I noticed that they're now up to 17, just 1 behind Mao Do, and they got to be careful and go for safe strategies at this point. If they go for the safe 2 stars, they should be in the clear. Nevertheless, I think that we're going to see Tong trying to get 3 again. He's done it before. He was actually a member of the championship team from ClashCon 2015, so he's been competing in Clash of Clans elite level play for a very long time now.
And I remember that. That was a fantastic war, really exciting to see. We saw the developers there as well warring in kind of a troll war. Very exciting time to be playing Clash of Clans, and definitely a lot of fun. But here we are in the 3rd ever season of Clan War League's first opportunity for these clans to get promoted to Champion 1. And Mao Do looking solid right here with another Queen Walk, and looks like we've got Lava Loon and a Stone Slammer about to head on in.
He sees our air defenses all spread out across this base and says, you know what, I think that we can pick off a few with the Archer Queen, maybe get some value out of this Barb King as he starts to kind of loop around clockwise. If Archer Queen can make it into the Eagle Artillery, he will be well set up for the next phase of this attack going on.
And check out the funneling there that helped the Archer Queen turn in and go after the Eagle Artillery right here. There's a single target Inferno, but she still has her ability, and there's a freeze spell. Beautiful freeze right on the Wizard Tower, the Sweeper, and that single target Inferno, but it's going to take her a little bit longer to get to it.
I think we're going to see a Queen ability pretty soon here. Oh, man.
Look at that.
He actually might have been able to get out without using it, but
I was thinking the
goes
same
for the
thing.
safe option nevertheless, keeping that Queen nice and healthy as he starts the main force of this attack. It's a Stone Slammer at the top to clear out that top left compartment, and there's only a few defensive structures left over on the east side now. As soon as those balloons get a little bit closer, they should be able to take it down. 3 haste spells will get them on target pretty shortly.
Town Hall activated. Great free spell right there. That's going to stop any damage to the balloons. They're going to move in right over that Town Hall and take it down. Perfect Warden ability right there. There goes the Town Hall, and the balloons take out the last Wizard Tower, Woody. That was critical.
They are kind of dawdling, though, not going straight for that multi-inferno. It's the only other thing that can really cause any trouble for this raid. It is a pretty far away from the loons. They're taking out the air defense next.
Watch out for the Sweeper. Watch out for the Sweeper. It's going to keep pushing those balloons away from the Inferno Tower. That's going to be a tough call.
Now, fortunately, it can only target 5 enemies at a time, and it's already locked onto the Archer Queen out there, so it's only locking onto 4 balloons at this point.
They're coming around the corner. They came around the corner.
Air Sweeper's trouble, but not trouble enough. Balloons are going to have this one.
But look at the time, Woody.
Oh, man.
Oh, not again. Not again. So many storages. That Dark Elixir storage is just like going to be in the nightmares of Tong later on tonight. 5 seconds. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Now it's going to be the start. The regular Elixir out on the far hand right. Oh, my gosh.
Dang.
No, not another 99. No, I can't take this. I cannot believe these guys.
Scallon said already 99% once again. It was worth 3 stars, but it hasn't been 3 stars. It was 2. And up next is Lewis, attack number 10.
Hey, back to Bats and Dragons, and we're looking at that same attack that we saw earlier. Very similar, starting out inside, and wow, it's impressive watching these Bats move through this base, and a lot of defenses are already down.
Key target for that attack was the Eagle Artillery. With that out of the way, Luis has got less to worry about with these Dragons swooping on in. He's got his Archer Queen still in tow and might start the next wave of his attack in the top right as soon as his dragon gives him a little bit of funneling.
What a great start. Yeah, Woody, check out 2 air defenses down, and an Eagle Artillery down, and one of the Inferno Towers are down. So great value to what is costly, leaving only 1 spell for the rest of the attack, but a good start for Lewis.
Stone Slammer, the newest siege troop, also being used once again here in this raid. It deals a lot of splash damage, and as you can see, each hit is dealing damage to like 7 or 8 different structures nearby. That's really going to help Luis out as he starts his next attack on the Town Hall. Oh, check it out. We got a Tesla farm over on the right side. That could cause some trouble.
Warden ability, perfect timing once again, keeps the balloons out of the danger from the Giga Bomb. But check out that Tornado Trap. Freeze spell right there, and the Tornado Trap. Well, that's a freeze from an Ice Golem that temporarily stalled this attack. And there's the second one. Oh, man. 6 seconds of stasis right there as they're going to have to wait before they can move forward.
It's going to hurt him a little bit on time, but fortunately there weren't too many defenses targeting that clump of troops, and so I think that they're going to be able to survive this encounter. And speaking of defenses targeting the troops, there's not that many left, just the multi-target Inferno and air defense on the back.
Come on, balloons. Come on, Dragons. Get that Inferno Tower down. That has got to be the last key defense in this base. Of course, you've got the air defense there as well, but listen, we're starting to hear some excitement from Mao Do. They know they're getting close. Plenty of time left this time, and a Barbarian King's ability is still waiting.
I just got to zoom out real quick to make sure there weren't any troll Teslas on the outside space.
Check out the Archer, Woody. There you go. Lone Archer out there working on it. No chance of a time fail, and we're actually going to see a little bit of overkill this time with this attack strategy. So 4th use of this brand new attack strategy, and we've seen 3 stars. Beautiful, beautiful use of what is maybe one of the most neglected air troops right now in the game, the regular Dragon.
Yeah, you know, it was one of my favorite troops around the Town Hall 7, Town Hall 8 time frame. You take out a couple of air defenses with lightning, and then you rage on in with the Dragons, but looks like we're going to be bringing Dragons back once again, just like the Hog Rider. These old-style troops are getting some...
It's helping them to pull ahead. New strategies. Sometimes even see new bases. And now there's someone new also in the lineup. Shu is up next. He's attacker number 11. Let's hope they can spread their lead.
Well,
taking things back to the ground here, Zhu is opening up, as you were noting on the bottom there, with a little bit of funneling, using these archers to take out a few of those structures so that the Archer Queen can go onto the intended targets. Probably trying to focus on that Inferno Tower in that left compartment, right, Callie?
Yep, opened up a bit of can of worms right there because there was a Tesla farm right where he was trying to funnel. You can see that he's intended for the Archer Queen, exactly like you said, Woody, to swoop clockwise and head off towards the left-hand side. She is going to be able to get deep enough to activate the Clan Castle, just like we're seeing, and get that multi-target Inferno Tower out of the way eventually.
Poison spell goes down, but I think Zhu was hoping for a bigger clump of troops to use it on. With that freeze out now, the Ice Golem is going to start trying to wail away on the Archer Queen. Nice rage on these healers, keeps her nice and healthy, even though she's getting burnt up. Wizard towered and archered and mortared and all sorts of defensive structures on her.
Spell placement absolutely crucial right there, catching not only the Archer Queen, but more importantly in this case, the healers, keeping her up. She's going to continue her Queen walk, and we're just about to watch the Bow Witch portion of this attack with only a couple of witches.
Pekka out at left side to help as well. If you need another Barbarian King, but you can only bring one, why not bring a Pekka instead? It's pretty much the same stuff.
Very, very similar behavior, and at the top of your screen, speaking of, there's the Barbarian King along with a Giant. They're going to get that defending Barbarian King out of the way with a swarm of skeletons as well, and now they're going to tank for the witches, and the bowlers are going to be headed towards the core.
For a long time, Pekkas were considered a 2-star troop, but they have also gotten a little bit of buff recently and are enjoying the rewards of that. They're going to be jumping onto the center of the base, and a huge range spell right next to Zhu's main clump of troops here, and an epic Grand Warden ability right on top of that as well, able to grab all of the troops in the center compartment, taking down that artillery.
Exactly, and check out the jump spell right there, letting the units get through outside the core, out towards the top right of this base. That jump spell spanned 5 different compartments.
Unfortunately for Zhu, though, there's still quite a bit left of base to get through, and these walls are taking a long time to tear down. Bowlers are targeting different wall compartments over here on the right side, and that's going to make it a bit difficult for them to get to the intended target. Nevertheless, we're getting pretty close to the end here.
Look at the bowlers.
Not that much time left, Gally.
Not worried about the walls. Oh, beautiful use of balloons in here at the end. 20 seconds, plenty of time now. The Archer Queen working on that Inferno Tower. Nothing is going to stop this attack. Zhu is just about to wipe out every last structure. Talk about overkill. Look at how many units were left. Beautiful attack.
Tons of units, but only about 10 seconds.
It's monstrous. We've seen it 4 times and 3 triples out of it so far.
You're too late. I did that already. Talents! Attack at 12. No. Here we go.
All right, so Talent, the 12th attacker of the day, and again, starting out with what we're seeing a little bit more of in this season from Maudo, and that is the funneling Electro Dragon, taking out multiple structures early here, Woody.
Talent is using Hog Riders, another one of those old school troops that we're going to be looking for here later in this attack. I'm a bit curious as to why he chose Hog Riders, though. They typically don't like to go up against those multi-target Infernos, and that centered Archer Queen could spell a bit of difficulty for them if they don't have a good plan to take that out.
Yeah, I think that the Archer Queen is going to be the biggest concern right here, that and the Eagle Artillery, simply because he's brought 3 heal spells, and remember the recent change, the Inferno Towers no longer block healing, so you can heal through them. It's only going to target 5. He's brought 30 Hog Riders, and he's even brought a Miner. I'm curious where this one solitary Miner is going to go.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. That Lava Hound is going to pop and distract that Archer Queen out back, but the bowlers who didn't getting their job done. They have finished off the Archer Queen now and into that center compartment where the Eagle Artillery is going to cause no more trouble for this raid.
They know something we don't. You can hear the excitement from Maudo over there as the Hog Riders, here they are, very top of the base, and a heal spell immediately. Gotta love the reintroduction of the Hog Rider because of the change to the multi-target Inferno. They've done a great job starting to clean up at the top. At the bottom, Woody, looks like we've lost most of the attack force, though.
Yeah, that Peck is going to be able to take down the Wizard Tower, though, and that's going to be good news for the Hog Riders. They really don't like going up against splash damage. Unfortunately, though, they're taking a ton of hits from those spring traps in the top compartment, and now they're spinning around in a tornado trap. All the while,
good heal.
Inferno Tower is trying to burn them up.
Yeah, good heal, but unfortunately they don't have any support to help with the Inferno Tower to take out the skeleton traps as well. And that big Tesla farm, check out those 5 Teslas right there. Really no chance at a 3 right here.
All right, Gally, we're going to see where that miner's going.
Where's that miner going?
Soon.
What was his intention? I'm figuring he was just maybe a cleanup troop.
Wait, where'd he go? Was he on the
Is
top?
he down?
Oh, I hear him. Where'd he go?
I can't see him. Find the miner. Find the miner. Where in the world is the miner? Okay, there he is. Okay.
Found him.
There's our miner. And closing in on 2/3 destruction. Again, a solid attack. I mean, most players super happy with something like this. A 2-star on a strong Town Hall 12 like this. and an innovative Town Hall 12. You know, base design that we don't always see. Lots of different elements protecting against a variety of attacks.
It's pretty crazy to me that the kill squad coming in on that bottom right compartment was able to take out the Town Hall, Eagle Artillery, Infernos, a Queen, all sorts of stuff. And then the Hog Riders were wound up being the disappointment of this raid. Finished off that top compartment there, but you saw they couldn't even make it all the way to the Inferno Tower with that tornado trap pulling them off. They just didn't have the firepower, couldn't get to their into the target quickly enough.
Lots of damage right there with the 2 Expos, the Wizard Tower, and the multi-target Inferno. Fa-la-la.
La-la.
That's it. Here we go. Attacking next is Lala from Mao Do with a Christmas special, dragons, and we've got the Frozen Bat Rage. I don't know what to call this attack again, but it's really cool, and here it comes at the top of the base.
Frozen Bat Rage.
Frozen Bat Rage and dragons in the back end. 11 dragons, Stone Slammer. This is my favorite attack. I'm going to start practicing this, you guys. Watch for this, because I'm going to be practicing this attack. Love to watch this, but again, we'll have to find out exactly what situations Mao Do is choosing, what bases they're choosing to go after with this.
Something I've noticed is that they rarely are dropping that against anything that has multiple splash damage targets nearby. You can see that those Wizard Towers are pretty far away. That multi-target Inferno on the bottom left, actually there's 2 of them, pretty far away. All you can hope for is to drop that free spell onto anything that could kill bats and then send them raged at any other nearby target.
Yep, well, 25% of this base, and check out what happened here. Funneling. You got a significant amount of funneling that is going to cause all of these troops to head in after the Town Hall. Looks like you've got the Clan Castle troops coming out, Baby Dragon. But again, we're going for 3, but we're shooting safe 2 right here. If you're Lala, if you're Mao Do, you're making sure these units are going to be funneled. Great use of the Warden's ability.
Bit of an aggressive placement there on that rage spell. The troops do eventually wander in it, though. Unfortunately, we're losing these balloons off the left side to a tornado trap, and they're getting burnt to a crisp. That multi-target Inferno got to them a bit too soon, and that's going to be trouble for Lala.
Yeah, look at the
There's still
Town Hall.
a lot of anti-air defenses on the left side of the space.
Town Hall taking damage. Town Hall taking a lot of damage.
Oh, no.
Look at this race for the damage. It can't get down. It couldn't get it down. We may see the first 1 star of this entire season for Mao Do. That was unbelievably close. Unless that haste spell, I'm pretty sure haste spells don't do damage, can take down the Town Hall. Unfortunately, we're looking at the first 1-star attack of the entire season.
A super unlucky break for Mao Do, and that means that this war could be getting closer after all. We see 25 stars now on the board for the opposing clan elements, and if they did manage to clean up with a few more 3 stars, that could put them in range. Mao Do is not out of the doghouse just yet.
No, absolutely. And tough call, Woody. I mean, that's...
In terms of when to get which star result is just perfect. After Lala's 1 star, he's picking it up for teammates and coming around with 3 stars. So Packin is our last attacker. 32 stars so far. There's a chance for 35. Let's see.
No. Peckin! Using bats once again out the left side of this base. Not able to finish off that Eagle just yet. It was a little bit out of range. But looks
check
like
out that start,
pretty good
Woody.
chunk of this base finished off, Gally.
Yep, check out that start. Beautiful right there. Looks like we got an air defense. We got an Inferno Tower. Not quite the Eagle. I mean, this is still, I would have to call on the experimental side as far as attack strategies. Obviously, Mao Do is not running out there without having tested this in friendly challenges. By the way, gotta love friendly challenges. Definitely helped out in the Clan Wars. But no doubt, sometimes there's going to be a learning curve, and this is the early days of a brand new attack in the game.
That Eagle Artillery is actually quite beefy. I've dumped a ton of hits into that with my Archer Queen, hoping, thinking, praying that it'll go down, and it just keeps on standing up there. It's going to stand once again in this raid that Peckin is now leading. He's going to be following up with Mass Dragons, though. We saw a few of those earlier in the day, and it looks like they've worked well for Mao Do in the past, so hey, why not use them again?
Mostly triples out of this dragon attack, and again, 11 seems to be the number of the day for the dragons. Again, a Stone Slammer, and only 1 spell left. It's going to be a very precisely placed rage spell.
I feel bad for the Battle Blimp. I feel like I don't see it at all anymore, Galadon. This Stone Slammer has replaced it in almost every instance, and hey, it's the new hotness.
Well, I would not be surprised if we saw a balancing that could bring the Battle Blimp into the meta again, because you're right, Woody. I haven't seen it used at all since the introduction, and it's kind of been neglected since the introduction of siege machines at all.
Well, the Stone Slammer is going to be leading this attack off. It's going to be soaking a ton of damage for these dragons and loons out in the front. As soon as it goes down, we'll see those CC troops pop right out, and yep, taking that black mine like A big hit on the chin. Pekin
Watch out.
going with these dragons up the back. Lost all of his balloons, though, and it's looking a little bit dicey now.
Warden ability, that's going to protect the dragons from that Giga Bomb beautifully. They're going to move on. Town Hall down. Look at the damage, 72%. Are there enough dragons to take out a quarter of this base, though, Woody, and an Inferno Tower?
Clutch hit from a dragon there in the center is able to finish off that Archer Queen right before it goes down. I still see at least 5, maybe 6 dragons left here for Pekin, but he's going to get distracted a bit here by this Lava Hound starting to target on to the attacking troops.
Yeah, that
Tornado
Lava
trap
Hound
dragging them in as well.
is a problem. The Lava Hound activated really late in this attack. Now, had the dragons gone in and destroyed the clan castle before the Lava Hound comes out, then the Lava Hound never comes out. It ceases to exist in the battle. But it came out, it slowed down the Archer Queen, and we're definitely going to run out of time in this attack.
It's a problem for dragons in the past, and it seems like it will remain a problem for the foreseeable future. Those dragons just go a little bit too slowly. That's why you often see them paired with rage spells, but dumping skeleton spells, freeze, and rage up at the top at the beginning just makes it a bit difficult for them to get to all their intended targets in time.